We do want to tell you or talk about what is next for Jerry Sandusky. With that part of the story, we continue our team coverage. Our Dave Marcheski has that. David?
Well, good evening, Dennis. Good work up there in Bellefonte. From Bellefonte to Cumberland County down here, he'll be strip searched, showered, then handed a red, dark jumpsuit. Those will be the first things that Jerry Sandusky does, and he'll become not a name, but a number here at Camp Hill State Prison. Life in prison began. Next week, the former coach will receive a new uniform, await his final home in Camp Hill State Prison.
And they'll decide what prison to send him to, and that might take 6 to 8 weeks for them to classify him.
During that time, a full evaluation, medical and mental health checkup, escape and danger risks will be calculated. Where is determined on his age, 68, and his vulnerable inmate label of convicted child rapist.
So that might mean that he's in solitary confinement because they can be assured that nobody's going to cause him any harm.
And making sure that it's a relatively safe environment, even though it's among, these people are among fellow felons.
Over the next several days, defense lawyers are expected to file post-sentence motions. Appeals and wrongful procedure attempts will be made. But in the end, legal experts we spoke with say, no shot.
That they haven't done so even 4 months later tells me that there's nothing out there that they're going to find.
This negative case hopes to become a positive beacon of transparency.
My record as a prosecutor.
Running for Attorney General, Kathleen Kane says she'll make sure all sex abuse victims will have a voice.
It's an arbitrary number to state that at the age of 50, a person who is the victim of child sexual abuse ought to be able to come forward and say the most horrific acts that ever occurred to them. So we need to make sure that that statute is taken away.
Also running for Attorney General, Cumberland County District Attorney Dave Freed. Now he says, I, along with my law enforcement colleagues across Pennsylvania, am incredibly grateful to the courageous victims of these crimes who came forward as adults to tell their horrific stories. Without the cooperation and resolve of these victims, there would be no case, and another predator would be walking our streets free to harm again. Now again, Sandusky will be expected to come here to Camp Hill late next week for processing. Flora and Val?
All right, thank you. Dave Marcheski live there at the Camp Hill Prison. Thank you.